Okay. So, all right. So here's what's going to happen. Guys. Today we are going to be uploading. I'm going to be showing you how to upload an NFT collection to NFT Maker Pro through their API. There's a lot of questions about this in the Discord. And there's, as far as I know, there's not a single video out there that exists on how to do this. So a lot of people are generating these images and metadata for the image, but they don't know how to get them all up on NFT Maker Pro. So with that being said, this video tutorial is not for programming beginners. It's for people that have at least a little bit of knowledge about JavaScript. So I'm going to assume that you have some experience writing code. If you are an absolute beginner, I would just close the video out right now and ask me in the comments on where to start on how to do some programming. I would be more than happy to assist you on that. So here we go. I'm going to explain what we're doing here. So I've got these really cool race cars, man. Like these are so awesome. I totally did not steal these from Google Images and just painted them different colors. I made these, just kidding. So we got a bunch of different race cars that we're going to upload, and each race car is going to have a different JSON file that has different metadata that we can add. So here's the first thing that we need to do. We need to make a new project in NFT Maker Pro. So we're going to come up here and we're going to go into NFT Maker Pro, create a new project. Project name will be cool race cars. URL, not needed. Description, not really needed. Token prefix, also not needed, but I'll just call it race car. Address, reservation time. That is essentially meaning when you go to sell the NFT on your website and someone clicks on the mint NFT button or whatever you call it, it will find a random NFT in the collection and reserve it for 20 minutes. That's all it means. You need to leave the max NFT supply as 1. And that looks good to me. All right, new policy. Yep, that looks good. All right, so here's the metadata template. And now we need to go add in the metadata that we have right here into the template, whatever. So I usually just will go right below files, and NFT Maker Pro's JSON editor is horrendous. Every single time you hit enter, it drops your cursor down to the bottom. So just deal with it. You only got to do it once. Okay, so we are going to add the first one as car. And in order to have like a placeholder value, you got to add these carets here. So car, and hit enter, and it drops you all the way back to the bottom. We'll go background. And it drops you all the way to the bottom because that makes fucking sense. Helmet. Okay, remember, this is JSON. Everything has to be a string. That's why you gotta wrap everything in quotes. Driver name. That's one, I think. Yeah, here we go. Driver name. Let's see here. Sexuality. Yes, it is 3 a.m. and I'm drinking. Sexuality. And top speed. Top speed. Okay. So that looks good to me. Yep, that looks good to me. Okay, all right. So we're going to click next. All right, no errors right there. So here we go. We got all our placeholder values. Okay, and save project. Awesome. So now we've got the cool race cars project right here. And something that a lot of people don't know, there is a royalty token available now. And the royalty token essentially means that whenever one of your NFTs are sold on a marketplace, you get a kickback, a percentage kickback of that sale. Now, there is a caveat to this. You should pay attention. As of right now, of this recording, October 23rd, 2021, there are no Cardano marketplaces out there that implement this token. But it is a good idea just to mint it anyways, and you'll just have it there for the future. So when you click on it, it's going to say, what's your royalty percentage there? You could put it as, I guess, high as 100%, but you'd be an asshole if you did that. Like, why the fuck would anybody buy your shit if they can't sell it as a profit? You might be asking, what is a fair percentage to put on there? I have seen values as low as 2%. I've seen them higher than 10%, but I think if you're going higher than 10%, that's not very nice. So I kind of just split the difference and I just put it at 8%. I don't know if 8% is too high or not. You know, all this stuff is kind of new to the NFT marketplace. It could be, this value could be radically different in the future. But I just put it at 8 right now. You know, we'll see how the market values that. And you'll just put the Cardano address that you want the royalties to go to. But once again, as of this recording, no Cardano marketplaces use royalty tokens. CNFT.io does not use it. Token does not use it. XNFT is not even online yet, but they don't use it. So don't worry about it. I just say mint it and just forget it. But I'm not going to pay 4.2 ADA to mint it right now. So, okay, here we are. We have just created the project. We have added in the metadata placeholders. And now we're going to switch over to the programming part. And we're going to be using Node.js to upload those race cars. And I'm not editing this video. I'm just doing it live. So you're going to hear me open this beer because I don't give a fuck. Yep, still pouring it. All right. Yeah, fuck editing videos, dude. Okay, cool. So we're going to drag you over here. All right, so we have the race cars, the race car images, the race car JSON metadata. Once again, this is assumed that you have that. If you don't, you're not watching the right video. And leave a comment below and I'll tell you where to go to generate something like this. So let's just close these, close that, drop that down. All right, so we're going to be using Node, and that's going to require us to do an npm init. Tac Y, boom. All right. Now we need to install a few dependencies. One will be .env, because we're going to have an environment file. npm I, we're going to do Axios. Axios is going to handle the AJAX requests, because we're going to be sending post calls to NFT Maker Pro. npm I chalk. Chalk is absolutely not necessary. All chalk does is it makes your terminal output look pretty. That's it. I like using it. I use it a lot, and I think you guys would like it. Next one will be an image to base 64. I think. Oh, by the way, the npm I, the I just means install. You could say I or install. It doesn't matter. Image to base 64. Once again, this one is absolutely not necessary. You can base 64 a PNG file with just vanilla JavaScript. However, I don't feel like doing that right now because I'm lazy. Okay, so next what we will be doing is now we have to make the script that is going to upload them to the Cool Race Cars project. So new file, we can call it upload nft.js. All right, and the first thing we're going to do is require, what the fuck was that? Weird. .env, and we need a config method on that. So we want to call the config method. It's going to read our environment variable file, and it's going to save them to the project. So while we're on that, let's just create the environment variable file. New file, and it's going to be a .env. And from there, we are going to have our let's see here. Where is? Oh, okay, yeah, there you go. And you'll just add in these two environment variables. One's going to be your API key, and one's going to be your project ID. Both of these are going to be particular to you, so do not don't copy this on my shit here, because you're just going to fuck you up. So what we need to do now is I actually have to go find my API key because I'm not sure where it is, but I'll do that later. Let's see here. The next one that we need to do here is, hold on one second here. All right, so the next one that we want to install is going to be Axios. So, or correction, we already did that. Begin at 3:27. All right, so the next file that we want to add in is Axios. Since we already installed it, so we're going to say const Axios equals require Axios. And next we're gonna add chalk in here. Chalk, that's cool. And next we'll just add FS. FS is file system. This is a built-in module for Node. You don't have to install it. It's just there. It's there for you. Const image to base 64 equals require image to base 64. That's cool. All right. So we're just gonna save that. All right, so here is what we need to do now. We need to have two arrays. One array is going to be called the let unsorted files equals empty array, and the other one is going to be let files to upload equals another empty array. So these are going to be two empty arrays, and we're going to iterate over the data here in the race cars folder and add it to this unsorted one, and then we're going to match up the file names with each other. So 1.json will be matched with 1.ping, 2.json will be matched with 2.ping, and so on. And after that, then they're going to be sorted and added to files to upload. And I'll explain this as we go on, so don't worry too much about that. So let's pay attention here. So we got a 1.json and a 1.ping. Now we need to find a way to match these up and see if they compare to each other. Let's create a helper function here. So we'll do function compare file names, file 1, file 2, and let name 1 equals f1. So when we send two files, we got to split that file name on the dot, and then that creates an array. And let's get the first one in the array. So basically what will happen is 1.json and 1.ping will be put into here, and I'm just gonna compare files to see if they if the names match. So we have to return something here. Let's return name 1 equal name 2. That's cool. All right. All right, so next we have to get the files that are in the race cars folder. All right, let's do an arrow function just because I feel like it here. So we'll do const get files equals arrow function, and we're going to return a promise. And for those that don't know, a promise represents it represents a value that may be available now or in the future or probably never. It's like, hey, I might be here or I might not. So in order to create a new promise, we need to instantiate a new promise object. So how do we do that? We're going to return new promise, and we're going to do the resolve reject, as we always do. Arrow function that. And then now we're going to go read the file system here. So file system, read dir. Yeah, read dir. And if you don't know, I'm pointing at the screen like you can see me. For those that don't know, the promise is going to take a callback. And since this takes a callback, it's going to add a resolve and reject to it. So we need to run the readdir method on there, and that needs a path. Path is going to be race cars and another callback, error, and then files, and then why the fuck not? Let's just do another arrow function. Who cares? If error, reject, error. Okay. So if there's an error in reading these files, it's just gonna shit the bed and stop living its life. So files. So if it's reading the files in the race car directory, let's just let's do a for each loop on that. Iterator will be file, another arrow function. So we need to add these files to the unsorted files array. So unsorted files dot push file. And we'll just resolve true. Why the hell not? And I like semicolons. Save that. That looks good. All right. So all right. So now we need to loop through the unsorted files array. Since we've just put the files in there, let's loop through that and compare the file names. And then we'll put them in their own array. So everything matches up. We're going to have 1.json will be matched with 1.ping, 2.json will be matched with 2.ping. So let's do another arrow function here. Const modify files for upload equals async, because we are crazy today. Doing an asynchronous arrow function. And let's just do a for loop here. Let's see, index is 0, index is, so we are array.length. The array is this one. That is that. That is that. There is a reason why you would put the plus plus before the index. I just don't remember what it is right now, and I'm not going to look it up. So, God, there was a reason. Well, whatever. I have officially decided I don't care. Modify. I spelled that wrong. So this is looking through the unsorted files array, and we've got element 1, and now we need the next one. We need to compare this element in the array to the next one. So we just say element 2 index plus 1. That'll work. And we will say that we don't want this loop to run if the index plus 1 is basically if it's out of range. So if index plus 1 equal. Where the fuck is my IntelliSense? Great, whatever. And we're just going to return that. Okay, so that's good. So now we need to use this function, the compare files function. And we will say if compare. Do you hear that? One, two, fucking. Okay. So we're going to compare the two files on here. And we're going to await that image to base 64. And they need a path. They need a path. The path is race cars. Element 2. And then response. So if these are, if the comparison is true on these two, we're going to base 64 the image. So the image is element 2. These are actually poorly named. So element 1 will be the JSON, element 2 will be the image. I probably should have rehearsed this before I did it, but YOLO. So once we get that, we got to go to files to upload, and we're going to put that in there. So we got to push that to the array, and it's going to be an object. File. I'm hearing a beeping noise in the background, but I have headphones on. File reference 2.split. And remember, element 2 is the image, so we are essentially saying that I want to take the image file name, find where the period is, split this in half, and then we will choose the first element. Oh my God, it's hold on. Okay, I'm back. So I guess the first time in 10 years my fire alarm decided to start beeping while I was recording this video, so you're just going to have to deal with the occasional beeps. God, that's so fucking annoying. So we have the file number that we're going to be using. So now we need to get the metadata file, and this is going to be another fs. Let's see here. We'll do fs read file sync. Element 1 is the JSON file. And we'll do encoding. TF8, why not? Flag R read. Fuck off. To get the, we need to get the image. So the image will be the response that we get from image to base 64. Okay, so okay. All right, I'm back. Sorry, my fire alarm just started beeping for the first time in 10 years. Go figure, while I'm recording this video. So it's just hardwired here. I'd have to go down the panel and trip the breaker, but I'm just going to keep going. God, this is so annoying. All right, so we got the file reference that's going to take the file name, split that, and then take the number. So now we need to match that up with the metadata file. So we'll just call one meta, and we'll just do another file system, read file sync, why not? And go with the race cars, and element 1 is going to be the metadata file that we want to combine with the image file. So file reference is just referencing what file that I'm looking at. It's not terribly important. What is important is what I'm doing right now. I'm combining the metadata and the image into one array, into one object inside the array. So we get that. We will do encoding UTF-8 flag R. I forget what that meant, but whatever. Get out of my way, please. Please get out of my way. All right, and here is the, God, these don't help me at all. So now we want to include the image in here, so we will just do response. Please get out of my way. God, that's so annoying. So what we have here is we are doing a image to base 64. We're finding the image, and then we are going to be adding the metadata and the base 64 version of the image to the image array within their own object here. That is fantastic. So we need to catch that. We need to catch that. So we will say catch error. How about console.log? And now we're going to use chalk. That's right, folks. Here we go. Yellow, chalk yellow, bold. Error in image to base 64. Error. There we go. Cool. So that works. Another semicolon because I like them. And good. So we've got that. Now let's get on to the upload feature, the upload function to send these images to NFT Maker Pro. So we will do this asynchronously. And I swear to God, I'm going to start a Glock later tonight because that fire alarm is just going to drive me nuts. So we will say async function upload my NFT. And we'll give it some parameters. Parameters will be metadata, asset number, and base 64. What do I want to call this? I'll just call it base 64 image data. Why the fuck not? Who gives a shit? Oh my God, dude. I'm going to hang myself. All right, so we need to make a body for the Axios post. Const body equals this. And if you look at the documentation for NFT Maker Pro, you'll see some of this stuff will match up, but here's how we're gonna do it. We're going to say asset name is equal to the asset number. And now I do preview image NFT. No, it's lowercase. Preview image NFT. And create an object within that object. And now we're going to go down to mime type is image ping. And actually, that T is lowercase, believe it or not. And then since we're doing, you have 3 ways to upload an NFT to NFT Maker Pro. One is through IPFS, one is through a URL, and then one's through base 64. We are going to be using base 64. So we need to say file from base 64. And we will say base 64 image data. That's fantastic. And here's where we'll add the metadata. It's going to be on metadata placeholder. And that's going to be an array of objects. And this is going to get repetitive, so I am sorry for that. So, all right. So what the fuck was our metadata here? I'm gonna split this screen. All right, so the first one is going to be called car. The value will be car. Right? That should work. Right? That'll work. This is so annoying. Background. Helmet. Oh my God, I fucking want to end my life right now. you're on a Mac, you can highlight text, hit Control D, and that just highlights the identical text. So we will say driver name. Sexuality. Yes. Make it sexy. And top speed. Right? That looks good, doesn't it? Okay. So, let's see. Get the fuck out of my way. Body. Alright, that's where body ends. Get the fuck out of here. And what we need to do in order to do the post request, we got to stringify this data because that's life. This is life. C'est la vie. So let's say const data equals json.stringify body. Yep. And now we need to create the data that is going to be passed into Axios when we do our post requests. So const config equals an object, and we're going to say method post. Some people capitalize it. I say fuck the system. Nah, we're gonna do template strings. So HTTPS API dash. Hold on, I'm gonna look this up. Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. All right, so we got NFT Maker Pro's API right there. We're going to be using the upload NFT endpoint. And from here, we need to access the environment variables that we set in our .env file. So we will string template process.env.api key. That's cool. God damn, I cannot believe that thing started fucking blowing up on me as I'm recording like the only YouTube video I've really seriously taken seriously in my life. The process.env, and that one's going to be called project id. All right, so that looks good. And now we need to do headers, object, set, text plain. I don't think you need to do text plain because I think it's default, but who cares? Content type. Application JSON. And data will just be equal to data. But any of you smart asses out there saying, oh, you could just do data, ES6. Yeah, I fucking know that, guy. I fucking know that. I fucking know that, dickhead. All right. So now we have the config, and since we are doing an async, we need to await something. And what are we going to await? We're going to await Axios. Config. Then, I don't know. Why don't I just do function? I could, I don't know why I'm doing it this way. Who cares? I could just do a arrow function, but I don't care. All right, so we're gonna get the response. Actually, we don't really need to do too much with the response. Let's just console log it. Let's just chalk that bitch up. Blue bright. BG black. Oh, there it is. Boom. Dot bold, because that's what we do. And string templates, and let's put an emoji in there. Let's oh, there it is. Boom. Sweet. Rocket. SUCCESS. That's the way you spell success. String template. Asset number has been uploaded. Cool. And of course, we'll just catch that. Function error. Console log. Chalk dot yellow dot bold. Whoops. What am I doing? Error. And then we'll just do that. Hold on. We'll do. Where is the middle finger? Is it in front of me? What the f... Oh. Huh. All right, I'm using the black middle finger. Hell yeah, let's do it. And semicolons, because I like them. All right, so we've got this bad boy. And that's everything right there. So now we got to run the script. And I think the best way to do this is going to be through a asynchronous generator function. And we're just going to do like a 408 of, we're going to do a 408 of loop. So we're going to do generator functions because we are grown-ups. So let's async, let's spell it right the first time, async function asterisk, that's huge, async generator, okay. If you do not put the asterisk after the function, it's not going to be a generator function, and you're going to look like an asshole, and people will hate you, and your mom will not call you. So we're going to set an iterator equal to 0. And we're going to do a little bit of a while loop here because who gives a shit? So we'll say while is blah, 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 5. I is greater than 5 because we've only got like 5. We've only got 5 here. Obviously, this number can change to whatever you want it to be. If we have 500, put it at 500. If you are still watching this video, one, I don't know why. Two, I will say that I have uploaded 3 collections on NFT Maker Pro. All of them have been 10,000 or more, and I will say that you will have a difficult time doing this if you do more than 500. Normally, I do about 100 at a time. However, I've noticed that every time I go try and change this to iterate over 500 or more images, it kind of starts to shit the bed on me. So we'll leave it at 5 here because we only have 5. But you can start off with chunking this thing out in groups of 100, and I would just try to up it after that. I'm at the point now where I do at least 500 at a time. But I have noticed, like I said, that it starts to get really laggy and errors out after 500. So 500 is kind of like at least for me, this is the safe number. That's the high end safe number. And by the way, like, there are other people out there that could do this better than me. This is just one way. All right. So you should know, like, the purpose of a generator is it's basically to run some code and then return a value, and then run some more code and return another value. And when we're doing this asynchronously, we need to make an object that generates a sequence of values here. So we're going to make an object that asynchronously generates a sequence of values. And we'll be using the keyword yield. And yield essentially causes the call to itself to the generator's next method. And if you don't know generators, I'm not going to explain them to you here, but there is, just ask me in the comments if you need some more explanation about generators here. So now we're going to be doing some yielding. We're going to be doing some yielding because when we yield, the yield keyword causes the call to the generator's next function, and the next method. The next method returns a promise to be fulfilled with the next value. If that makes no sense to you, don't worry, just copy everything I'm doing. We're all going to make it. We are all going to make it. So we will yield what the hell is it called? Get files. We're going to yield get files. Yield boy. All right. It's basically. Hold on. I'm going to do this. We're going to yield the modify files to upload. Boom. We're going to yield upload my NFT. But that needs parameters, so let's get them some parameters. Const metadata equals. So I stringified this. I need to parse it now. Fuck, that's fine. YOLO. JSON.parse. Files to upload, the iterator, and meta. Is that right? Yeah, that is right. Am I right? Dot meta. Oh yeah, there it is. Boom, sweet. I'm stupid. So metadata is JSON parse, const asset number equals files to upload, iterator dot file reference because the file reference was the file name, right? So if the file reference file name is just 1, well, NFT Maker Pro is going to say, that's fucked up. You can't do that. You need to have at least some data in there. You need to have like at least 3 characters in there. So if we're going to have a collection of like 10,000, we need to pad that number with zeros. All right. So we will get the file reference, and then we'll do this awesome thing called pad start. Thank God for ES6. So pad start is going to say that the 5 is going to be how many characters are in there, and we will just pad it with 0. So basically, if our file reference is 1, the pad start will make it look like that. That's it. So there's 5 characters in here, and that's it, man. It's cool. We need to do const space 64. Yeah, let's call it that. Who cares? It's in this loop here. Equals files to upload iterator and dot ing. So now we got that, we can just say metadata. We can also say asset number. And then we can also say base 64 image data. And then we will say yield I plus. Boom. Save that, man. That's looking sexy. Okay, so we have a async generator. Now, who gives a shit? We need to iterate over an async generator. And in order to do this, we're going to use the for await of. This is a loop that most of you guys have never heard of. This is exclusive shit. Hold on. So, the for await of loop, it's a statement basically. The for await of statement creates a loop that it iterates over like async objects. An async iterable object is this generator function right here. So in order to use the generator, we need to run the generator function, which will return a generator object that allows us to use the generator. Allow me to explain. We're going to do something called an IFI. An IFI is a immediately invoked function expression. We're going to do an async IFI. An asynchronous, immediately evoked function expression. You know, watch how a real pimp does this. Async function. I could just do an arrow function, but I don't give a fuck today. Async function, and then we will say for of. Boom. But that's not pimp enough because we gotta await that shit. So we will say await because we're doing a for of await on an asynchronous generator. That's what we do. I don't know. Let num of the object. The object is the async generator. So we are going to iterate over the generator function, and now we need to, let's basically say that when we get to the end of it, let's make a note of that, because you're going to want to know this when you're doing this over 500 of these. So how do I do this? If num yeah, let's get to the last one. The last one, if we get to the last one, because remember, we count from 0. So if counting starts at 0, then 4 equals 5. So we have 5 different PNGs and 5 different JSON files. So we're going to say where we're at the last one, which is 4, we're going to console log something. So we're going to chalk that bitch up real quick. Man, let's do something cute. Let's do magenta. Yeah, let's get cute right now. Bold. And we will just say, I don't know, finished generating images now. Axios will upload the shit LMAO. ... There we go. And I don't know if we need to do this, but I've just always been doing this forever. We just do process.exit. Whoa. Exit code 0. Turn that bitch off. And so, hold on. Since I said that we're doing an iffy, an immediately evoked function expression, we need to invoke it. We're not invoking it right now. Now we are. Now we are. Okay, so I think what we have is decent enough. So let me bring up NFT Maker Pro. And this site always logs you out after every 30 seconds. Yes, it logged me out. That's cool. Thank you for doing that. This site seriously has the shortest logout timer I've ever been on. It's ridiculous. All right, so we notice that here's cool race cars. We don't have any NFTs in there. There's nothing in there. There's no trickery involved in here. So click on Manage NFTs. And now we want to try to run this. Let's see if this works. So we will say node upload nft.js and pray to God. Okay, great. What the fuck over? No file and directory. I wonder if it's that. That'd be funny if that was the issue. What? Hold on. What the fuck is going on here? All right, so we got a error status code of 406. 406. All right, so I think I figured out what the heck was going on here. I was uploading to the wrong project ID, like an asshole. Because only assholes do that. So I will bring it back here, do a quick refresh. There is nothing in this project. And okay. And let's just try it again. Holy shit, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. Bring this back here. Refresh. Dude, we've got our race cars, man. Look at that. Oh my God, I'm gonna come. Let's check the red, yep. Background magenta, helmet blue, Conan the Ass Blaster. He's gay. That's okay. Top speed 69,420, man. What a gangster. Green, cornflower blue. Let's just make sure this one is cornflower blue. That's cool too, man. What do we got over here? Cyan, Rebecca Purple. Rebecca Purple, that is a real color in HTML. I heard a story that one of the core contributors to like the HTML standard had a daughter in the 90s, and her name was Rebecca, and she was like 6 years old, and she had cancer, and she died, and one of the contributors to the HTML standard wanted to make a color dedicated to his daughter, Rebecca, and the HTML committee said absolutely yes. And if you type into CSS Rebecca Purple, all lowercase in no spaces, Rebecca Purple is a real actual color that turns into this. So a little bit of a web development history there for you. But yeah, that's kind of cool, guys. We've got we just iterated over 5 of these. Obviously, you're going to have more than that, but this is just a great example of what you can do. And I gotta, I really thank you guys for watching this here, and I apologize for the that fucking fire alarm beeping in the background. I'm probably gonna hang myself tonight if I have to hear it more. But yeah, I've been working on. I'm just gonna plug my shit. Fuck you. I've been working on this one, CryptoCommander.io. I'm selling military symbols here. I'm trying to turn it into a game. Oh man, look at that. That's such, oh my God, it's so cool. And the girlfriend project right here. So if you guys are incels and you want a girlfriend, I'm selling, I'm selling girlfriends here. But actually both of these are currently not for sale anymore because the pre-sale is over. However, if you're watching this in the future, which you are, they might be on sale, but either way, just join the Discords for both of them. And I hope you guys like this, and I apologize again for not rehearsing this. I should have done it, but it's rehearsing sucks, man. So yeah, any questions, just leave them in the comments, man. I love you all. Goodbye.